I'd like to add something and say definitely a happy Mother's Day. But Mother's Day is every day. So if you have a mother and she's doing the best she can, be there. Show some love, show some respect throughout the year. That's a great appreciation that doesn't get said enough.
Absolutely.
So the sunny spot.
Yes, the sunny
All right,
spot.
now look, the two brothers went up to the sunny spot. They was having a party. The young brother just got chose not in the draft, but unregistered draft. But he was good, and they wanted Cincinnati to come up there, and they were going to try him out.
Right.
And he was so good, undoubtedly he was going to make the team. So they in the bar, they partying, okay? Oh, we're going to the NBA and they partying, and moetting, drinking, and just having fun, okay? Some of the other guys, brothers, come from another little part of town, and they in that partying also. Some stupid, and all this stuff is so stupid, some stupid, irrelevant conversation started, all right? The one brother, who's the brother of the football player, allegedly wound up shooting Brother Forbes, the other young brother, and killing him, okay? Allegedly, all right? All right, so here's what happened, allegedly. So after the shooting and the melee, the brothers jump in the car, all right? The one brother jumped in the car, and of course the brother went with him, allegedly, okay? All right, so sometime later, first they pick up the football player and his mama, okay? The other brother is out somewhere, okay? All right, so when they pick up the football player and his mama, naturally the other boy got to come forth to clear this thing up. So he came forth, and they charged him with murder. He's under like $500,000 bond or something. They gave the football player about $100,000 bond. He didn't do no shooting. Here's what they charged him with. They charged him with complicity or something like that, because he jumped in the car with his brother, you know. Anyway, the point that I want to make is this. Because of that, the sunny spot, which these brothers had put all kind of money into that sports spot, laid it out, it's closed, probably closed forever, because Cleveland Heights don't play that. You know, but here's the point that I'm trying to make in this whole thing. There's a new saying that we want to create right here on the Art McCoy University Radio Show.
Oh, I'm excited.
You understand? And it is, the saying is, I'm sorry about that, brother. I'm sorry about that, brother. In other words, me and Porter is at the bar. The young guy's at the bar, all right? And I brush into Brother Porter, all right? We all drinking. And, you understand? My response is going to be, sorry about that, brother. You understand? I'm not going to say, sorry about that N-word. You understand? I'm going to say, sorry about that, brother. From sorry about that, brother, that's the response that we want the young brothers to know. If you use that sorry about that, brother, that means, listen, brother, I know I bumped into you. I know I stepped on your shoe. I'm sorry about that, brother. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no drama. I don't want no gunplay. I don't want no fight. Let's go. Let's move on. If I need to leave, I'll leave. Sorry about that, brother. But here's usually what happened in these incidents. The young brothers being there drinking and having fun and partying, you understand? And one might brush the other one too close, or something might be said that's irritating. And before you know it, and so the young brother would say, X that F you N-word, okay?
Yes.
All right? And so what would happen then is there would be a big fight.
Right.
All right, there'd be a big fight, and on top of all of that, incidents happen the way they happen now.
Right. Well, you know what, Art? The point, and I get your point. We talked about this months ago, because remember we were talking about this N-word situation. When people recognize each other as brothers and sisters instead of N-words, then people have an identification of family and more unity in a community. But if we got people calling each other the N-words, it makes that disconnection, and people don't You know, that's how people are able to do crimes and this kind of hateful things against each other, because they're not connecting with each other as brothers or sisters, but they're the N-word. Important for us to, you know, where they talk about calmer heads prevailing, this is what's necessary, not just in our personal relationships, but in our communities. And, you know, that's one thing, and not to talk bad about you, Mr. Porter, but, you know, that rap music is always getting people hyped. You know, it's when I just get hyped and I'll take you outside and what you gonna do. But we need to really refocus that in our community and teach our people, let's be cool, remain calm, okay? And think about what you're doing so you don't make these harsh reactions. Don't you think that rap music is a reactionary kind of thing? It makes people, like, you're just hyped before you even think about it.
Well, since on the Black Man's Army CD you have people going old style of rap,
Yes.
style of I would say James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Isaac Hayes style of talking, such as Brother Ted, Brother Saeed, Sergeant Major Stokes, and Brother Art McCoy. Then you have the hip hop that deals with revolution, starting to think, be proud of your colors and that type of thing. So I think when it comes to rap music, let's put it out here in 30 seconds or less so I can go back to the primary thing you were talking about. There is a lot of positive music talking about love yourself, and other things like
Yes.
that. Commercial radio refuses to play that. So
Right.
maybe if people would seek out everything from the Christian rap music that's out there and love yourself music that is on BMA Volume 1 that I have to push, you would hear a different style. And then to add on to what you're saying, it's time for people to stand up and do something when it comes to domestic violence.
All right. I am so happy that we have in our studio today our guest. Joining us is Mr. Dennis Cash. Hey, Mr. Dennis.
Hello, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day as well. We love the mothers.
We do so much. You know what? Mr. Cash is joining us today because he is a promoter. He is a well-known individual here in the Cleveland community, but he is putting on an event that touches our hearts so much here at the Art McCoy University Radio Show, and it is a Survivors of Violence concert. So, Mr. Dennis, tell us about it.
Okay, lovely. That music sounds so good, it just mellowed me out. Don't you like that, Ms. Capers?
Oh, yeah.
I love that music. Great song. Shouts out to the DJ.
All right.
Hey, listen, the program is just something that I've been monitoring over the last 4 or 5 years about violence. I pay close attention to the Cleveland Plain Dealer, read the papers every day, and me and one of my buddies, we would always keep up with how younger the guys were getting, the kids are getting that's committing these crimes.
Yeah.
So during the early part of last year, I started doing some shows out of town with discovering talent. You know, I always do showcases.
Mm-hmm.
And during the time, two of the cities I went to, Buffalo and Virginia Beach, as well as Detroit, I noticed something. When I would pick up my phone to read the papers and then listen to the news out there, the same crimes we were having in Cleveland, as I'm reading it, they were having it in the same city.
Right.
When a 5-year-old got shot in Cleveland, they had the same thing in Buffalo, New York.
Mm.
So that bothered me. By the time I got to Virginia Beach, it was the same thing.
Mm.
So when we were riding home from Virginia Beach in October, I was telling one of my cameramen that rides with me, we ride 8-hour drive. I said, you know, we've been trying to help kids for years, helping them try to get famous, doing a lot of great things. But I said, I love that. But I said, I feel incomplete because the people we're helping, as these guys come to me, their songs, I have to get them to clean their music up for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
They talking about what they want to do to each other, and I don't like girls, and girls don't like me. And I said, it's something missing. I said, the disconnect is people want to be mainstream, but there's a certain type of life what we're going through in our black neighborhoods that they're going through, and they're trying to just force it on people. So what I want to do is I want to do something that can be impact to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
not just to somebody that can sing and dance. So as we was riding on, it hit me. I said, who's affected? I said, we know what happens to the kid that gets killed, and we know what happened to the person that goes to jail for it.
Mm-hmm.
But what we don't know is what happened to the little brothers,
The
sisters,
survivors, right.
the nephews,
The
uncles,
mothers.
mothers, moms. I go on and on and on.
Right.
And one thing I realized was that's one person affected when someone dies, go to jail. but it can be 25 to 30 who's affected by it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, my biggest problem is, well, how does this make sense to the public?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody I talked to, I did surveys on my own. When I would go in a crowd of people, I did it at Al Porter's hip hop shop. I did it at my church. I would ask a simple question if I got the microphone. If anybody has not been affected by violence, please stand up.
Mm.
I haven't found a person to stand up yet.
Right.
Mm.
Try it.
That's tragic in a black community.
And that means it's not just something that's going on just because it's just happening. I think it's more or less like a disease in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We're born with it now.
Mm.
You know, just like the heroin epidemic became a disease in the white community.
Mm-hmm.
This is a disease in our community. You need help and treatment
Right.
for it.
Right.
And you just can't say it's going to go away. So that's how I came up with the idea, and I decided the best way to get people's attention, to get them all to the table and at least address it, was through the music industry.
Okay.
And being that I'm in the music industry, been in it over 40 years, I got a lot of relationships,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of friends. They can't turn me down on this
Mm-hmm.
because now I did have a few turn me down. I won't name your names,
Okay.
but at the end of the day, that's okay. That's okay because sometimes people just don't understand the moment we're in, and then a lot of them did. To give you a good example, there's so much good coming out of this event. Since I started, we started in October. We made a CD on it, which I know about. All music is already done.
Mm-hmm.
14 songs on it. Music over violence experience. All positive music,
Okay.
telling you something for everybody, whether it's mom, kids, from different artists.
Okay.
I was telling the guys that work with me, I said, when you do stuff like this, you don't expect results the day you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You expect results over time, and this is how you get them. If you legitimately are sincere about your cause and what you stand for, man, I'm still gonna make it happen.
That's right.
In the last week, I had calls. This is how far this event has went. I got a call from Las Vegas. A young lady called me, as a professional gospel singer, Tanetta. She called and said, I heard about this event. I'm from Chicago.
Mm.
And she said, we were just about to throw an event in Chicago on May 15th. She said, I got a group, we made this song, it's a beautiful song called 360, about violence. She said, we're driving to Cleveland Saturday and drive right back out. We have to do your show.
How wonderful. Good.
I got another call from Los Angeles last night. The kid that's on my show, Ezzy, the rapper that's on the, you know Ezzy.
Yes, I do.
Nice kid. I met him, met his mom. Nice kid. I always liked the kid because out of all the little kids I saw rapping, he got it. He got it. He wasn't trying to force the issues on you about, you know, whatever. He had great songs. He carried himself right, and he knew how to control the audience. I pulled him off to the side, told his mother, this was over a year ago. I said, I like him. I said, does he rehearse? They told me no. I said, that's his only problem I got. He got to rehearse. Got to practice. You know, Art, we come from the old school. We rehearse.
Yes.
But outside of that, this kid turned out to do my show. Great positive kid. They didn't really know me. They heard about me. But through the hard work of what I'm doing, I didn't know he had just did a movie with Erykah Badu, Michael Carter Williams, MGK, and a lot of other actors. It's a skateboard movie where 4 kids go wrong and they get into drugs and stuff. Great movie. I got the trailer. And again, by the stroke of the Lord, I get a call last night. This gentleman that made this movie is from Cleveland. He lives in Los Angeles. He said he'd be honored to do anything he can with this event. And if we want to feature his film, show his trailer, because it's for our market. He said, I'm all in. I'll fly in. So I was just telling you, we have a lot of people that's picking up on this. And I thought when we put this together, when I first sat down and talked with Art McCoy and Al Porter, the one thing I told him was, I think we can touch people to where this could go beyond Cleveland. That was my words to them. And every day I witnessed that. So now we just have the task of getting these lovely people together. Most important, kids with their families. That's the key.
Children.
We want the children to come with their moms and dads. That's why I put the type of entertainment we have, where you got something for the kids and something definitely for the older folks.
Right. Well, you know what? This event, the Survivors of Violence concert, it will be held May 13th and 14th, and later in this week, and I believe that's Friday and Saturday, right, sir?
Yep.
Okay. This event is absolutely free, but it's necessary for you to have a ticket to attend. Now, how do people get tickets?
Well, we had several people that was out, Big Half, myself. I was
It's not just a concert,
Right.
and we're talking about there's actually going to be a conference with panel members,
from
people
the industry.
from the industry and people in the community that have been working in the city of Cleveland. It's a lecture on violence in its relationship to music.
You're the first one to hit it right on the head.
Right.
It's not just about having a free concert. We all like free concerts, but
Yes, we
we're
do.
trying to find out, well, in my opinion, does music play a part in violence
In our community.
in our community? I was just at my studio today. I got a nephew. He's about 25, and he can record anytime he get ready. We have a studio. You got to ask myself why I never helped my own nephew, and I've been helping kids all my life. You know why? Because when he's in the rapping, Miss Capers will slap my face if I bring that in here.
Right, because it's the kind of rap music that is not
I
it's
get
not
they
conducive or
expressing
positive.
themselves.
Right.
I was going to talk to him today and sitting down and asking, what do you want somebody to do with that?
Right.
But
Or who do
I
you
couldn't.
think is going to listen to that, or what would that particular rap music, who would it influence and who would it benefit?
Well, I can tell you this. When you make that type of music, if you're in the wrong place and you do that song, those type songs, someone will take you out.
Beginning of our talk, that you felt that there was a disease running rampant in the black community of violence. You related it to the heroin epidemic running wild in the white community, in the suburban community. When you talk about it as a disease, what do you think? How do you think this disease got started in the black community?
Mental. Because if you see your brothers, your dad, going through the same thing for generations, mentally, you acquire those behaviors.
That's
right.
Now, let's equate this to the music people,
Talk to me then.
young men and young women.
Right.
If we want to hurt your community, you know we're hurting you, been hurting you for years.
Yes.
Let's use the Pied Pipers. We give them what they want, so we get 5 of these rapper guys, let him floss the diamonds and jewelry, whatever they do, and arm them with, they come out and push these messages, because it's going to do one thing. Young people are going to go by what they hear.
Right.
They're going to try to copy it,
They're going to
emulate
copy
it,
it.
or
If you
live
put it
it.
out there long enough,
Yeah.
so this been going on, Art, for 30 years.
That's right. Having a terrible impact on the way that even the young people treat each other.
Oh yeah.
You know?
They don't know no better. See, the mind is not developed. And so your mind, you can't expect a 13, 14-year-old to make decisions that you would make.
Right.
One thing I will say, when I took a group to BET, we had a chance to stay. We stayed with some Puerto Ricans, and the mom was 50 years old. They took care of us for 3 days while we were in New York. She pulled me off to the side, and she said, I really like the way you handle these young men. That was Congress in them. And the dancers. I had a crew of guys, and I've been in business since I've been 14. She said, look here, let me talk to you for a minute. She said, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something how life works. She said, I babysit houses for real Germans. She said, real Germans. The ones that got real money and come from where we just talked about, what that gentleman said. She said, they sit at their dinner table and talk about how weak people are. And that's why I don't want to get too, don't take my words. These are my words. These are her words. That's why they never respected the Jews, because they led them like lamb to slaughter them, and not one time did they fight back. You know why? Because the messages they put in them, it's like they programmed. So she was saying, whenever you put something together, you have to understand, people are like sheep. That's their thinking.
Yes.
That Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. we're doing a Survivor of Violence Gospel event during service.
Wow. Wow. We got to take it.
Go ahead.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
For more information, make
For
sure you
more
guys call us.
information,
Go ahead.
please, if you know what, the event is absolutely free. Okay, so you need to give Mr. Cash a call. You can call him at 216-324-4802 or 330-622-1174. Free tickets to this wonderful event. You know what? You got to be there because it's not going to be there. It's going to be a conference with guest speakers, entertainment, and actually trying to get some solutions to this terrible issue of violence in the Black community.